There is one solo training mistake 90% of goalkeepers make, and it's the very reason most of them stay stuck, even if they train hard. And after more than 20 years playing at an elite level, I've done it myself, and I've seen so many young goalkeepers repeat it every single week. In this video, I'll show you exactly what the mistake is, why it keeps you stuck even if you're training a lot, and how to fix it starting from your very next session. Let's dive into mistake number 1. Now, let me guess how your last solo session went. You probably started with footwork, then you did some handling, a few dives, and maybe you did some distribution at the end. You know, a bit of everything. Right? You were sweating, working hard, you felt serious, and when you walked off the pitch, you probably thought, good session today. But here's the part nobody likes hearing. You probably didn't actually get better. And I know this because I trained like this for years. I trained hard, really hard, but I wasn't improving nearly as fast as I should have. Not because I lacked effort, but because I lacked structure. I thought doing more drills meant more progress. Well, it didn't. When you try to fix 5 skills in one session, your brain never gets enough time on one skill to actually improve it. You're basically switching gears too often, and skill development doesn't like switching, it likes repetition. And what changed everything for me was brutally simple: one session, one focus. Not 5. If it was handling day, that's all I did. If it was diving day, well, that was it. And if it was distribution, I didn't touch anything else. Sometimes I'd even spend an entire week working on one skill. And for the first time, I didn't leave the pitch just tired. I left knowing exactly what had improved, and that's a completely different feeling. So if you're training a lot and your level isn't moving fast enough, this might be the reason. Okay, great, you fixed your structure, you're training one skill per session, you feel more focused, you feel more intentional, and now your sessions are actually looking sharp. But there is a moment in every solo session when you decide whether you're getting better or just getting tired. Let's talk about mistake number 2. You ever noticed how the first 5 reps of your sessions are looking sharp, and then the last 10 look like you're a completely different keeper? At the start of the session, everything feels clean, your feet are quick, your dives are sharp, your hands are strong, you look like a proper keeper. But then, 20 minutes later, your legs feel heavier, your set position creeps a little taller, and your push-off isn't quite as explosive. And what do you tell yourself? Just a few more, and then maybe a few more after that. And I used to train like this all the time too. If I wasn't tired at the end, I thought I hadn't worked hard enough. But here's what I didn't understand back then. There's a fine line in every session, and once you cross it, you're no longer training your technique, you're training your tired version. And your body doesn't care if you're tired, it just records what you repeat. So if your last reps are sloppy, if you're falling instead of diving, if your feet are slower, that's what you're teaching yourself. So what changed everything for me? You might be asking. I stopped chasing exhaustion and I started chasing the clean reps. The second I felt my technique was slipping, I'd stop, reset, recover, and then I go again. For me, that's usually around 4 to 5 reps. That's when I take a pause, at least 1 minute before I go again. Because when you're training your technique, 1 clean rep with full focus is worth way more than 20 when you're just trying to survive. Okay, real quick. Have you ever felt like you're just 1 mistake away from being dropped? Or no matter what you do, your teammates and coaches, they still don't trust you? Yeah, tell me about it, but we're about to change that. Because inside my one-to-one mentorship, you'll not only learn how to train harder, improve faster, and play with that courage and confidence that top goalkeepers have, but you'll also know how to bounce back after a mistake like they never happened, and play like the keeper your team can rely on. So if this sounds like you, click on the link in the description and apply. I'm only taking very few goalkeepers on because I want to make this super personal. Anyways, let's move into mistake number 3. If I filmed your solo session 3 months ago and then I filmed one today, would it actually look different? Or are you still doing the same drills from the same distance at the same speed? Because most goalkeepers do this without even realizing it. I know I did. For years, I had my favorite drills, the one I was really good at, the ones that made me feel sharp and confident, and because it felt so good, I kept doing them. And look, I wasn't bad, but I wasn't great either. I was just stuck, if your sessions always feel smooth, if you always look clean, if you're never slightly uncomfortable, you're not raising your level. And that's why so many goalkeepers train hard and stay the same. But the moment I realized this, everything changed. When a drill started feeling too easy, I made it harder. Maybe I started slightly off balance. Maybe I added some footwork before doing the dive. Or maybe add a rebound, a second action. Because improvement only happens when your training stretches you, when it challenges you, not when it flatters you. So if your solo training sessions look the same month after month, year after year, don't be surprised if your level does too. Now, speaking of solo sessions, if you want to know how I train my high dives completely on my own, you need to check out this video.